Afternoon. How's everybody doing? I hope you're hungry. I hope you're thirsty. My name's Hunter Lewis. I'm the editor-in-chief of Food and Wine. We are thrilled to have you here in the home stretch of the Food and Wine Classic in Aspen. It's been a hell of a weekend. And I've got one PSA before we begin. You can enjoy the ham, but don't you dare touch the toast yet. Okay? Just hang tight. Thank you to our partners, Food and Wines of Spain, Katrin, Bruno. You've been loyal and wonderful partners with Food and Wine and at the Food and Wine Classic for decades, and we're so thrilled to feature your products here and to see you here again, so thank you. I also want to give a warm welcome to Katie Button and to Felix Mayana of Cúrate in Asheville, North Carolina. So we're going to be talking a lot today about great ingredients from Spain, great cheeses, great ham, great wines, of course, some of the best in the world. My mom grew up in Asheville, North Carolina, where these wonderful folks are based, and my grandfather was tasked with opening a Gerber baby foods plant in the 50s. He moved from California, and they brought artichokes and wine from California to Asheville. And I asked my grandfather why. He said, because the water's really good in the mountains, and the apples are really good. We've got great ingredients in North Carolina. And what Katie and Felix have done, they brought hospitality together. They brought the Foods and Wines of Spain together with great ingredients from North Carolina to create a world-class destination. So when you go to Asheville, because everybody wants to go to Asheville, make sure you book a reservation because the place is exceptional and sit at the bar. All right, without further ado, please give a warm Food and Wine welcome to Katie and Felix.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Hunter.
you.
We are incredibly excited to be here with you all. It has been a while since we've done these things in person, and it feels really good, but I'll also say, like Felix is showing, that I think we've got a little rusty. I'm more nervous than usual. So
We used to do this at home, but
that's
this,
okay.
This is different.
This is different, like real people. I know that some of you are also tuning in virtually on Foods and Wines from Spain's Facebook page on Facebook Live. So hello to all of you who are tuning in separate. And let's see, what are we doing today?
So I just want to welcome you all to Spain. You're in Spain right now. And basically, Kate is going to be running the show, as she always does. And I'm going to be here talking about wine and the way that we decide to pick these wines in order to match the food that Kate is going to be preparing. And she will give me the green light, and I will talk about wine. But basically, Kate is going to be the one running the show. So you tell me when I'm ready. I'm here for you.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. So the first thing, I just wanted to say is we do have this, since we've got this being recorded and on this Facebook Live, we have created a kit during let me back up a little bit. So we have a Spanish tapas restaurant in Asheville, North Carolina called Cúrate. And we recently, when everything kind of that happened last year happened, we were quickly trying to figure out what we were doing. And we realized that who we are and what we do is telling stories and connecting people to Spanish food and culture, and that is what we love. It is how Felix and I met. We met working for Jose Andres in DC, and Felix took me back to Spain to work at El Bulli, and that's our story. And then we moved to Asheville, North Carolina to open Cúrate. So when we realized that, we knew that we wanted to connect with people outside of Asheville too. So we created Cúrate at Home, which is a nationwide shipping program where we ship kind of curated Spanish specialty goods as well as things that we make. And the whole goal is to introduce people and get them more connected to how easy and delicious and wonderful Spanish food is, and how you can prepare some simple things at home. And that's what we're going to do. Most of what I'm doing today is assembling the incredible ingredients that are already at our disposal from Spain. So,
And some of you are wondering what the word of curate means. Of course, it means curate in English, but also curate with the accent means take care of yourself. So with Cúrate, the restaurant, we bring people to Asheville to take care of them, make sure that they feel that they're in Spain. We also take people to Spain in Cúrate trips that we've been doing since 2017, and now we are doing Cúrate at home, delivering this box. So that's everything ties the word of Cúrate as take care of yourself.
And some of you who are virtual pre-ordered, we like ship things in these wonderful boxes, pre-ordered this set of things that's sitting right up there to make along with all of you at the same time. So we've got some people who are actually like cooking virtually with us. And then if you who are here want to do this again, you can come find us at CúrateAtHome.com and find the kits as
And just
well.
very quickly, so you guys can start drinking and eating, because
Yes.
you guys are excited about that part. So we start with the fino and the jamón. The jamón is gonna be, it's actually a paleta, so that's gonna be on your left side. And it's something that we add last minute, going back and forth with catering, with Food and Wines from Spain. They're sitting right here. Catherine, say hi. She's been, well, I can talk about Catherine for hours, because she's the one that make it us being here, and the one that's been trusting us and believing in us since 2015, and we've been doing a lot of things together. But we mentioned how we can entertain them before we start cooking, and it was easy, like jamón and fino. That's a match made in heaven. You know, people can say the oysters and muscadet, foie gras and sauternes, like fino and jamón is like as soon as you get that in your mouth, you're gonna try a little bit of the ham, put it in your palate, let it melt, and then just have a little sip of the fino. It's gonna cut that fatness of the jamón, you know, that nuttiness is gonna merge with the saltiness from the fino. And this fino is a particular fino. It's a fino that comes from not the traditional area of Jerez, of sherry. It comes actually from Montilla Moriles in Córdoba. So, and it's not 100% Palomino fino, it's 100% Pedro Jiménez. So something very unique. The Alvear Bodega, you know, is doing amazing wines, and we take you outside of the comfort zone. You are, or you know about sherry, and you've been tasting wines from sherry. This is a completely different area. So normally the area of sherry, you know, has that golden triangle between sherry, Jerez, Puerto Santa Maria, and Sanlúcar. This is in Córdoba, so something very special, different. I hope you enjoy it. You guys already tasted?
I don't know about you all, but I do what Felix tells me like immediately as soon as he tells me to do it. So, and tasting the jamón and the fino, it was an easy. I had the opportunity to go and visit, you know, the Dehesa, which is the area where these incredible oak trees grow, where the acorns fall, and the pigs, these Iberico pigs, are down there like eating up all of the acorns in the fall when the season starts, and they know it's coming. They're there and like ready. And I think the ham, the cured ham that Spain makes is just the Iberico. There is no other comparison. It's so special. The breed itself means that, you know, the fat marbles better in their meat. There's something about the temperature of the fat on your tongue and how it melts instantly when you just let it like rest there for a minute. So definitely encourage you to do that. I let my ham rest in my mouth for a little bit before enjoying the wine.
And this is 100% Iberico de Bellota, like pure Iberico de Bellota, coming from the Rolls Royce of the hams in Spain and now in the States, Cinco Jotas. So the ones that we are actually ambassadors and we are proudly always represent.
Yes. So for the next bite, I'm going to show you how to assemble it. It is, we started, you know, we love Spanish food and culture and like sharing it with people. And we started creating our own cured products, like using traditional Spanish recipes. So sobrasada, it uses pimenton, which is a very important smoked Spanish paprika, very important ingredient in Spanish food and cooking. And so you can definitely get sobrasada from us. You can get it from a few other people as well. And some of my favorite memories of enjoying, what is sobrasada? Sobrasada, let's back up. What is sobrasada? Sobrasada is like, lots of people know chorizo better, you know, and it's like if chorizo was butter, like spreadable. You know, it's delicious. It's fattier, and because it's fermented, it's got like that little bit of tang to it, and cured and
longer.
It's wonderful. So,
and can you tell us of the origin where it came from? Originally from the islands, from Balear Islands.
Yes.
in the Mediterranean, but also where I come from, the small town Roses, north of Barcelona. We grew up eating sobrasada a lot. My mom always had a little bit in the fridge, for us. We can't live without it. People think the jamón is the biggest cured meat in Spain, and it is internationally, but we do love chorizo and sobrasada as well.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna take this out of here and spread it. I have these crackers which come in our kit. You can also do it on toast points. But there's been a few of my favorite dishes made with sobrasada. One of them is with goat cheese and honey and some nuts like we're gonna do today. But also, what's the other one with?
Oh, I have a few ones. I like to get wild, and I like, sometimes I'm trying to understand myself if I like more food or wine. It's like I'm struggling with that.
That is a challenge. I don't know.
So that's why being invited for food and wine makes sense for me, because I like both equally. Sobrasada, the one that you are talking about, I think is the one in a toast with a quail egg.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I do like to put it in top of my burger too, with a
With
fried egg
foie
on top.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like foie gras, a little
different
sobrasada with foie
applications.
gras.
Like I say, I like to
Same.
make sandwiches at home. Katie allows me to make sandwiches, to boil the pasta, to make some rice, to fry the eggs, and that's sometimes chicken on the grill a little bit, but right?
Right. So for this simple bite, yes, that is correct. For this, I'm so focused on my dish, Felix, that I don't even know what lies you're telling people right now.
Just do your thing.
Yeah, totally. For this simple dish, I'm just gonna crumble a little bit of goat cheese. This is Spanish, of course. Goat cheese, I mean, cheeses from Spain are incredible. It's a really good thing that you and I are the only ones who are gonna eat this stuff up here, because I'm gonna like lick my fingers and then keep making food. I don't see any other option around it. It's a good thing we're married. We're sharing all of that. Okay. Whether he wants to or not.
I was just looking for the sink. It's true that we're missing a sink here.
Well, that's okay. Okay. So, and then this wonderful, there's a little bit of honey here, which really you can use any honey, but there's wonderful honey from Spain. We've had a chestnut honey from Spain. I think I remember is delicious. A little bit of honey, and then I'm gonna top it with some chopped Marcona almonds. One of my favorite, almonds in Spain it's such an important ingredient to Spanish food, cooking, and my personal snacking.
And you can obviously use any kind of charcuterie, any kind of cheese, any kind of honey.
Yeah.
You can switch the almonds for walnuts. We're just showing you, how to use your pantry, and what you have in your fridge.
This is about combining flavors of ingredients. There's some tang from the goat cheese and sweetness from the honey and this like richness from the sobrasada and then the nuttiness from the Marcona almonds. And you can create that with any variety of combinations. Also, I have to say that Marcona almonds with the skins on them, oh my gosh, they're so good. There's something about the skins. I love them in particular, personally. They're all great, but.
These ones are very oily, and salty.
Yes.
Yeah, I love them.
Roasted, delicious.
You still have ham in your plates? Come on.
Okay. So I was told that I get to do this. Ta-da! Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about the complexity of make a pairing with this dish, because I don't know about you, but every time I try to pair charcuterie with wine, it's challenging. It's like artichokes. Always very hard to pair with it. I will go with sherry normally, but bubbles always help. And I can drink bubbles all day long with anything in the table. So we are going to take you out of your comfort zone with sparkling wine again, like we did with the Fino in the beginning, and we're gonna take you to the Dio of Penedès, and we're gonna go to try a cava. They actually is like almost 100% Charello. This is one of the main grapes on the blending of cava, but we're missing the Macabeo. We're missing, well, we're gonna have a little bit of the Chardonnay and a little bit of Pinot Noir, but this cava is pretty much 100% Chardonnay, and it's an organic Chardonnay, and it's a wine that's been aged, I think 80, more than 80 months, before release. And it's a wine that is made from John Cousinet, and the name of the wine, Blanca Cousinet, is just a tribute to all the women that were working in the winery, and particularly his daughter, that was born on the very first year that they make this sparkling wine. So that's why the name of Blanca Cousinet. And it's a wine that has been in our wine list for a long time in Cúrate. It's a wine that has, it's a winery that have like they make Shiraz, they make Grenache, they make like a beautiful lineup of wines. But I thought that picking this sparkling wine, it will go better with the charcuterie than a white or a red. And I hope you guys are enjoying the pairing as well.
Let's try it.
It's actually rich. So,
oh my gosh. When you take a sip of the wine, the sobrasada, like boom, I don't know if anybody else is getting that, but it's like really bringing out the pimenton that's in that sausage.
And the toast notes from the sparkling wine, like that buttery.
With the almonds, with the Marcona almonds.
Yeah, we have fun at home. I think it's probably a winner.
This is a really good one.
How you guys like it?
Oh, yum, delicious. Okay, so let's see. Now we're gonna move in, and I'm gonna show you how to make kind of a more composed dish using alioli, which if you ended up with the kit, you can have it already made and you don't have to do anything. But I'm going to show you how to make alioli because it's really simple as well. And personally, I think when you make it at home, like fresh, and there's nothing that can replace it. And then we're going to do some white asparagus from Navarra and boquerones, which are anchovies, but they're pickled instead of salt cured, with a little bit of vinegar and garlic, and a fennel and apple salad on top. So a little more of a composed dish, and I'm gonna start working on showing you how to make the different ingredients for it, and then it'll arrive magically before it's time to enjoy it. So our team, Brittany, who is helping, helping the team, and the team at the Hotel Jerome are like back there doing their special thing. Okay, alioli. Let's see. So traditionally, alioli is made with a mortar and pestle, and it's literally just garlic and oil. Aioli is which is Catalan for garlic, and oli, oil, and you just work the garlic in a mortar and pestle slowly and emulsify the garlic with no egg or anything, by time, And it's incredible, and when people make it that way, you can tell, and it just stands out. However, I'm gonna show you the cheaters version, which is equally delicious and wonderful and easy to do at home. And I've got 2 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs, and 2 cups of oil. My ratio is 1 cup of oil to 1 egg is kind of the perfect mayonnaise-based emulsification. What else do I need? I need olive oil, which is in here, 2 cups of olive oil, and lemon juice. I just put a little bit of lemon juice. I don't want to really taste it. I just want it just enough to where it improves the flavor, like adds just a little bit of something, but it doesn't taste lemony. If it tastes lemony, I like it with less. I mean, of course you can make it how you would like. And then one of my like giant pinches of salt. I've realized my pinch of salt is like 3/4 of a teaspoon. I told the group the other day that I measured it once because somebody was like, that's a pinch? I was like, well, we're like 3/4 of a teaspoon. But, and because we're doing 2 cups of oil, it's gonna need maybe even like a pinch and a half of my pinches. So, okay, I've got those things in. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna let that blend up a little bit so that garlic starts breaking up. And this olive oil I'm using is Arbequina, is the type. Let me turn this off. For making mayonnaises and things like this, I love Arbequina because it doesn't have a bitter, it doesn't bring that bitterness to it. Or I'll blend another with Arbequina, and that also can achieve the same, like another kind of stronger, spicier olive oil with Arbequina, and that can also help. But Arbequina is my go-to.
And if you don't know where to find it, we can sell it to you.
And I'm using, this blender has that like kind of auto slow spout. So I'm just letting it slowly add the oil, which is really
That's a
helpful.
cool shot.
It's a cool trick. And we're gonna make sure that we don't break this is the goal for today. But if we did, I could also teach you how to unbreak it.
So she was mentioning alioli. So the word alioli comes from the word in Catalan, ai, y oli. Ai means garlic, oli means olive oil, like she said. Every time I go to a restaurant and I see aioli in the menu, it drives me crazy because it's A-L-L-I-O-L-I.
And really, like, the thing that makes this, if you can tell, I'm putting 2 cups of oil in here. So the most important ingredient in aioli or alioli is the olive oil. That's by far the most important from Spain, of course.
Can I talk about the wine or?
Well, you can talk about the wine, but we're not going to taste it till I'm done with the dish.
And they don't have the dish yet in front of them.
Yeah,
so we should wait
I
a
think
little
you
bit.
should just wait, yeah. And you'll hear as you add more and more oil, it gets thicker, and it kind of makes this like, just the sound changes.
They can see it, Katie.
They can see it.
Yeah.
Cool. I can't see what you all are seeing, but
The 2 big screens, left and right.
Okay. Great. Turn that off. Now, I did not break this mayonnaise because this alioli, because the ratio of 1 egg to 1 cup of oil works really, really well. However, if you had, all you would do was take your broken, and if you know how it's broken is if it liquefies again. And if it does, you just set that aside as your liquid. You put a raw egg back in your food processor, turn it back on, and you add your broken alioli slowly like I added the oil. And it'll come back together. Just a trick. Okay. Now, this I'm going to set aside. You hold on to that. That was good. Now everybody knows how to fix it. Don't throw it out. You just use 2 cups of delicious Arbequina olive oil. You're not going to throw it out. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show really quickly is this fennel and apple salad.
This is bringing me back home, by the way. I'm about to spoon it like a, with alioli with everything.
Fennel and apple salad. I'm going to cut the fennel. Just going to do a little bit, enough for Felix and I. Cut this apple. Perfect. And a mandolin, which Brittany told me she like just sharpened this mandolin, so we were laughing and saying like, let's be careful. I know, it's making you nervous. I'm far away from it, I know. I said that and now I just like.
That was my joke like 2 hours ago, like please don't cut yourself.
I'm gonna cut the core out.
We're gonna bring Spain for sure all red everywhere.
We'll throw some lemons in it and then it'll be red and yellow, it's perfect.
Yeah, right.
Just what we're going for. Okay.
You want me to go ahead and open the can of asparagus?
Yes, please. Actually, and you could put 2 asparagus on that gray plate back there. Would be wonderful. We'll start plating it.
Yeah. This one right here?
Yeah.
The white, this one?
No, the gray plate.
Ah, okay.
I said gray, right?
I don't know.
Okay. I actually think I want this a little bit thinner. I was too nervous about this.
I don't know
but
what's
I'm
more
not crazy
dangerous,
about
like
it.
working and on that or try to open a can. You know what I mean? You can cut yourself with this too.
This is
Nobody cares about it. Yeah.
okay.
Everybody cares about Katie, but not about me.
Oh, so I started doing this and I was like not paying attention and the fennel is too thick. I'm not happy with it. I want it super thin. So we're just gonna adjust this again and I'm gonna try it one more time. Just because I like making you all nervous. If you were making this fennel salad ahead of time, you could shave it right into some ice water, and then it would hold its freshness and color longer. And then when I shave the apple, I would shave that with some lemon juice, you know, so that way it doesn't turn brown. But since we're gonna eat ours like right away, I don't need to do that. Now we've got the apple.
I'm gonna leave your white asparagus right here.
Thank you. Do you want to open the boquerones?
Yeah.
I think they might be in the fridge, or we'll open that pack right there. And we need 2 of them. Actually, Felix, you know what you need to plate under the asparagus first is the alioli.
You don't tell me that.
I know, I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is where, I said this the other day, but this is where a demo kitchen is so amazing. I have these like containers down here and you're like, and it's gone. I'm just kidding. Clean board.
So you charge me doing the sauce, everything, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Just the alioli on the bottom and the 2 asparagus on top, and then put 1 boquerone on top of each asparagus.
I'm plating. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, you're plating, and I'm just gonna finish up this. So a trick I wanna show you really quickly with lemon is if you take a lemon for getting it ready to have it prepared for squeezing in sauces or anything that you're making, if you take a lemon and cut it into 8s, and then instead of trying to squeeze it like this, where you've got all the seeds and the membrane and stuff, you just cut that top off, and it takes the seeds out, and then you've got this nice, like, clean, perfect piece of lemon that you can just squeeze right in anything. So, love this. The broken alioli and the lemon are winning. Okay, a little bit of salt and some olive oil, which there's a little bit in here.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Actually, I'm glad the boquerones are room temperature because it will be better than if they just come from the fridge. Right?
Yes, they are better room temperature. You are correct. I realized one thing I don't have is the tarragon that you all have on the dish that's in yours. You should have tarragon, but that's okay. We're
I borrow you
it
knife.
may magically appear. Okay. Felix always does everything with such precision. I don't know if you all can see this. Maybe not because he's over there on this board, but he's like very carefully opening the things. I knew it. the tarragon, and it magically appeared. We have like a code word. That's our secret sign. Ari and I, who's helping make sure everything's perfect. Okay. Let's see. Really? You plated it like that?
Wow.
I would have done it like this.
Wow.
I'm just gonna do this a little differently, but it's cool.
We're gonna have a little
Cool.
talk later.
So, I think the skin is beautiful.
Looks pretty. You're right.
Felix?
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
You put me in the spot here, you know.
I totally put you
But
on
you
the
see,
spot.
you see how I did the alioli in the bottom.
Yes. Also, when it looks beautiful. When I'm plating, I think using your hands for like nice plating is always better than utensils, which is again why it's good that I'm only cooking for Felix and I. What do you think? Is there enough like apple and things in this?
That's
Felix?
perfect, no?
Yeah, I think so too. You can see everything.
You want to
Okay.
show it to the camera?
Yes, I will. The ta-da moment.
So let's talk about the wine a little bit now. So here, again, Katie tried to complicate it, and we have alioli, we have white asparagus, we have pickled anchovy, we have apples. So to break all that brightness that comes from that dish, I wanted to find something with more body and a little bit rich. So that's why I decided to go with the next wine. Is Alejairen from the Vínculo Winery in La Mancha. So the winery name Vínculo means like a union, and it's the union of both Castilles, you know, Castilla-La Mancha and Castilla-León. The Fernandez family did an amazing job, you know, first, you know, finding Tempranillo grapes there to make the red wine of this wine, but now finding and recovering the grape of Airen. And this is 100% Airen, and it's a wine that has like a crianza. It's a 6 month in oak. Sorry, 6 month in bottle age, but it's been fermenting in oak barrels, French oak. And I think all that structure and richness, you know, is going to help to go through the dish that Katie just prepared.
All right, here I've got knives for us, Felix. I've got a knife here.
Well, I can do this too, Katie. Look.
Okay.
There we go.
Great. I think in Spain, they are the thing that I fell in love with most. One of the things I fell in love with most in Spain is their ability, like how they can and preserve things. This white asparagus, the care, it's hand-packed, it's whole, it's perfect. The boquerones, like they're, you know, just have that nice acidity and are bright and delicious. And I don't know, it's something magical.
Yeah, we're known in Spain for these amazing Michelin star restaurants, all this culture that we have in the south and the north, pinchos, tapas. But as a Spaniard growing up at home, the pantry is like you have to have the best pantry. You have to have that, you know, anchovies, these boquerones, this charcuterie, this olive oil, these almonds, everything. And you know, when it's game time and you're gonna watch a soccer game, you open the pantry, you have your chips, you have your cheese, you have everything to make a beautiful dinner without cooking, because we haven't cooked yet, right?
No, we have
There
not
we go.
cooked yet. I mean, we're cooking, just, you know, not using heat yet. We will. You know what I love is how this wine stands up to the vinegar in the boqueron.
Yeah. Because you need something to balance that brightness, you know, that
Yes.
brings, you know, the pickle that acidity.
Yeah.
You know, you have to cut it. You know, you need something.
Right.
You know, that is more buttery.
Going opposite.
Yes, the opposite. And it's almost like you see the color of this wine. You know, that yellowish is like it's amazing. It's like it almost looks like it's oxidized, right? And in the mouth had that feeling of an oxidized wine. And again, we wanted to showcase these wines, but we want to make sure that we were matching the wines with the food that we were preparing. So that's where we have fun. It's like making, you know, these bites so the food can be magic and the wine can be magic, but when you match both together, you're in heaven. What we have next?
Next, we are pequillo peppers, Pimientos De Pequillo. So we have so in the kit, if you had gotten the kit, you don't have to lift a finger because we've already done it for you. But we're gonna show you how to make these. It's really simple. I love these peppers. So Pimientos De Pequillo, these ones are from Navarra, yeah, which is, I mean, the region famous for these peppers. And they're fire roasted, and
you all realize that she opened the easy can, right?
and they are, look at this. So I'm just gonna show you this. So they're these little triangular shaped peppers. They're the perfect vehicle for stuffing, if you can see that. And in the restaurant, you know, the people's favorite is we just stuff them with goat cheese and then we put them in a pan and sear them really briefly, a Spanish goat cheese, and then the like melty cheese and the flavor of the pepper like combines and it's magic. It's actually one of our most popular dishes in the restaurant and it's so simple. I mean, anybody can make this, you know? And but you can also use them to fill them with brandada. You know, I have a recipe in my cookbook for brandada. Brandada is a salt cod dish that's salt cod and potato and olive oil and garlic, and it's kind of like a spread, and you can stuff it inside of the pequillo peppers, or you can fill them with tuna, or what else? Oh, jamon and cheese, like jamon and manchego cheese, or even a cheese that, not even manchego, like mahon. I love the mahon and combination because it melts so well. If you get a less aged one, and you stuff them inside and you can sear it. I also eat these just room temperature, you know, without having to cook them at all. They're great.
You also use them in the cookbook, in the librito.
I do, yeah. I cut them up and I put them inside of the librito, which is like a pounded pork loin, thin, like, and then filled with jamon serrano and mahon, pimientos de pequillo, folded and breaded and then fried, and you cut into them, and it's delicious.
And also, you have leftovers, you put it in a sandwich next day, it's awesome.
Yeah. I know, a sandwich, Felix makes these sandwiches with like alioli and pequillo peppers and the white asparagus and everything, like, and tuna, like piled inside of a baguette, you just eat.
I have a theme for sandwiches.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
Maybe a next book, Katie? Sandwiches?
Yeah, sandwiches.
Yeah. Bocadillos.
I think our home cooking, somehow we have to get our banter in there though. We gotta figure that out. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate these pequillo peppers. Just going to cut into this goat cheese here. Let me get a smaller knife. That looks like a bit much. In the restaurant, because we do these in large, like lots of quantity at a time, we use pottery tools. This is actually like a mud tool for shaping pottery, for cutting cheese. But I want to show you guys the real way, which is just like taking a hunk.
That's how you should do it. That's how you should do it. Yes.
And then stuffing it inside these beautiful pockets.
You want to turn this on, put some olive oil here?
Just 1 minute, one minute. If you want to get the plate, actually, which is that white plate, and you could drizzle a little bit of the salsa verde on it. So in the kits, we included a recipe for a salsa verde with just some lemon juice, lemon zest, parsley, olive oil, garlic that you can like blend together in a blender or food processor really quickly. Felix is just gonna plate some on the plate. It's literally just blanched parsley, a little bit of salt, olive oil,
I hope
garlic,
I'm doing it right this time.
lemon juice. I'll tell you if you're not, so don't worry. Okay,
Touché.
let's see. I'm back in this, like, do I lick my fingers and then keep cooking, or,
You need a towel?
yeah, I want that one, yeah. Okay, let's see. But you can get really creative with what you can stuff inside of these piquillo peppers.
Nobody touch this ham. I'm gonna have it later.
Okay, so that's in there. And now you could serve them just like that, drizzled with a little bit of olive oil, but they are even better if you come over here. Turn on this amazing burner here. I've got a little bit of oil. And let's see, what am I going to use? There, like a spatula.
Can you talk about the wine a little bit?
Yeah, I think that you can. I think that you should, because you guys are gonna be watching me. Felix, can you talk about the wine? I'll be searing these, or you wanna wait till I sear them?
So other reason how we pick wines is season and also proximity with the dish that we're making. So we're working with pimientos from Navarra, so this is way to go is to Rioja. The white sparrows that we had before, they're also from Navarra and the Rioja early area. So the next wine, Muga, Selección Especial, is a winery that is very tied to us because we actually get to visit them in a trip to Spain. And the family of Muga, they're making these amazing wines for a long time, and they had this line of different wines, but this one particularly, the Selección, is a blend of Tempranillo being the main grape, but also has a Graciano, Mazuelo. You good?
Yeah, that was my hot test. You know when you put something in the pan and then you're like, nope, not hot enough. So that was it's good. Also, when you're cooking these, thank you for giving me a moment to say, I just want to sear them quickly on each side. You don't want to cook them too long because the cheese inside can start to curdle or change. So it's just like a real quick, flash them on both sides, and then they're done. Okay. You may continue.
Yeah. So basically, I was trying to find a wine that brings that comfort. It's nothing in the Spanish world that brings more comfort than Rioja wine. I think you will be very pleased with the wine that we pick. It's a wine that is being fermented in oak barrels, and it's been aged in bottle for about more than 18 months. So we have a reserva going on in this bottle, and the difference with the other reserva that we have also coming from the same winery is that they handpick these grapes, for different parcels. So they make a selection of the grapes to make this special selection of Tempranillo blend.
I have to say, this burner is hot. It's good. It's got some power behind it. Okay.
And we don't have so I'm gonna be the one. That helps?
Okay, yeah, I think they're done anyway, so you're
Yes?
good. Yeah,
Okay,
that helps. So thank you, sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Wow. This is becoming a thing now, Katie. One thing is doing this at home, but with the audience, you're getting more like.
Totally. We're bringing, it's been, it's our first time live in front of people. We got to bring some home into your lives.
You're right.
Okay.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
All right. Well, I can't wait to try this. I just plated 2 because it looks better with just 2 on that plate, but.
I think
You guys, you guys are a little bit.
They're working
we're
on it.
ahead
Yeah.
of you. Okay, well it's okay. They'll be coming up. They're coming out right now, so we will wait because they can sit for just a minute and talk about other things. Yeah, questions. Do you guys have questions? That was a good moment while we're waiting.
What oil did you cook in?
This I used grapeseed oil, just like a higher temp cooking oil. You could use olive oil though. You just want to keep it at a slightly lower temperature if you're going to use olive oil, so that it doesn't smoke. But
Doesn't burn.
yeah.
How did you guys meet? You're so cute.
Woohoo! No. How I find her.
It's very sweet. We met in Washington, D.C. I had just started working in the restaurant industry. I have a background in engineering originally, and then kind of like switched careers. Realized engineering is a cool field, but I was miserable and loved food and cooking the entire time. So when I actually met Felix shortly after I dropped out of a PhD program before it started. So I was a dropout and looking for a restaurant to work at. And the only restaurant that would, it's like happenstance that I ended up in Spanish food and cooking. The only restaurant that would give me a shot and a job was a Jose Andres restaurant, one of Jose Andres' restaurants. And so it was great, because I'm like going around DC handing out my resume, and they're like, what, you don't want to hire a PhD dropout? You don't want the person who like clearly has no idea what she wants to do in life? So,
Tell them why they hire you as a server, because
they had this cool, I started as in the front of the house. They had this really cool way of hiring. They gave out quizzes to the people who went to apply. So it went deeper than what your resume said, right? Like the quiz asked me a bunch of food knowledge questions and, restaurant knowledge questions, which I didn't really know that much. Like, what does 86 mean? I had no idea at the time. And I was like, I don't know, but name, 6 different types of mushrooms. I was like, I got this, and so they gave me a job because they could see a little bit more. And then I met Felix shortly after that. He came in to the restaurant from Spain, fresh off the plane from El Bulli, and that's where we met.
I was doing consulting for Chef Jose Andres in his restaurants at the time when El Bulli was closing between seasons. So I did that for 2 winters, and the last winter, if I don't meet Katie, we'll get back to Spain, because I was that cultural thing, between Spain and the States. I was not getting it, but Katie is the one that helped me to understand this world, this country, and the one that I'm in love now. So, yeah.
And I got him to move to Asheville, North Carolina, sight unseen. So
without never being there.
He'd never been there. I was like, we're gonna go. We're gonna open a restaurant. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. So, yes.
Are you from there?
I was born in Conway, South Carolina. So, yeah. Woo! So, and we lived in Greenville when I was a little girl. Greenville, awesome. Yes, seriously. And we moved up to New Jersey when I was 7 for my dad's job, but my grandparents lived in Conway, so my connection to the Southeast was always there, and that's how we ended up back in Asheville. But yes?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what is the trick to picking a wine to pair with your favorite thing? Because it does seem like kind of a high wire act.
Well, like I say, you look for season, you look for region, like how it's going to pair with the food, where it comes from, and the wine where it comes from. It also helps, but I think the main thing is like taste a lot of wine and eat a lot of food, and it will come easily to you. What is gonna pair well together.
But sherry and bubbles, I feel like
are the best. The best. Are so versatile.
Kind of
Sherry and I would love to talk about sherry in another time. We should do like a catering. We should do like a sherry seminar anytime. Bring other people.
I would just stay.
Yeah, right?
Well, let's try. I think everybody just pretty much has this one.
They're still working on it, yeah.
Do we need one more?
One more question? There are more questions over there, Katie.
What are your favorite dishes to pair with the aioli sauce?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Again,
sausage like on the grill, and beans. And sandwiches, and rice dishes, like, you know, a
You just
paella
mentioned
style
them all,
rice
yeah.
dish, or
Yeah, we have a dish in the restaurant. This is a rouge-chat. This is a paella style, but made with
Noodles.
noodles instead of rice. And the alioli goes just perfectly with that.
great. I think we can,
One more question.
yeah.
Have a plant-based substitute for like your garlic and oil sauce instead of eggs, anything else that would
To bind it together. That is an excellent question.
Made the emulsion?
There's got to be one, and I am not familiar about plant-based emulsifications. Anybody?
My second question is, do you guys have
So
yeah.
I do have, so on the you can find some cooking workshops that I do on the Magnolia app. They have workshops. So if you go to their workshop section, which is in their create section, you can find some cooking workshops that I do. And we have a show coming out with them later this year. So yeah, thank you for asking.
Again, that's that scary show. I will be appearing a little bit there, but that will be.
There's more of this, so it's good. Yes. Just the one. We have Cúrate. We have an idea for another one, but this one you can buy in the tent while you're here, and also on our website.
Well, we
So-
have another idea now, so maybe 3 books, because the bocadillo sandwich book is coming.
Okay. There was, yes. So it's salsa verde. It's parsley, a little bit of garlic, and lemon and olive oil, a little lemon zest. Yes.
If you were gonna pick a recipe out of your cookbook to cook to maybe for like Lionel Messi, what would you choose?
Oh, steak. If it's for Messi, steak. Argentinian players, they love steak.
And-
So we have that in the cookbook.
Yes. How's the
I will look. We
formation?
will always will look for where they come from. Where it can be like always tricky. So, which one is your preferred pairing so far? But you have to pick one. Number 2. The muga. Yeah, that brings the comfort home. Yeah, you can't get wrong with Rioja, right?
Share with everyone what you serve on tap or a bar in your restaurant, which is so unusual for most restaurants.
Tap, like on tap? Yeah, we have sherry, we have cider, we have vermouth, we have cocktails, we have sodas. Yeah, and that was something that we did 6 years after we opened Cúrate. We expand Cúrate next door, and we recreate a vermuteria with the feeling and with the idea to bring you back to the Barcelona local street bars where you can have sherry on tap, vermouth, cider. Yeah, thank you for. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was our goal. Yeah, and also allow us to open next the jamón bar, where we have all these beautiful ham that you had in the beginning hanging there, and we carve them by hand.
How do we find the wine?
Oh, Catherine. That's a question for you guys.
Yes. Wine.com.
Wine.com, yeah. Well,
do you find the wine?
You can find them in Cúrate too.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have, I've been doing, for example, that's a good question. The Alejairen is part of my wine club month this month.
Yes.
So it's coming with 2 other wines from the winery, and we have already 130 members, and we're shipping to the States the weekend. Unfortunately, we can't ship wine everywhere, but it's something that is working out very well, and we pick 3 wines every month, and we send it to your house.
Yes, depending on the state that you live in, because there's definitely some restrictions there. But wine.com can ship to everywhere. So,
Yeah.
Yes. No, Cúrate Wine Club is our club. Yes. However, if you live in a state that we can't ship to, which you can find out on the website, then wine.com would be another resource to any state. So the Pimientos De Pequillo, yeah, the Pequillo peppers.
That you will find them in.
You can find them on our website at Cúrate at Home. Actually, there's a flyer. You all have a flyer with a discount code on the back for Cúrate at Home. So this kit that we did today, as well as a lot of the other ingredients, are available there. So, and we can ship to any state food. So only the wine
is a
the
different story,
restriction. Food's a different
always.
story. Yeah. So please go check it out.
More
but
question.
regardless, like we just want you guys to find Spanish ingredients and get introduced to them. So whether that's from us or your local grocery store, you're seeing them on the shelves, or ordering them from other places online, just get to know Spain. Well, you can.
Is this for forever cheese?
Actually, this one, yeah, this
forever
one,
cheese, yeah.
But they don't retail direct to people, but lots of grocery stores carry this one.
You can also find them in
Capricho de
Cúrate. You
Cabra.
can also find them in Cúrate at Home.
Yes. You can also find it at Cúrate at Home, yes, at our website. But there are lots of people carry this one. Yes. So it's a Spanish goat cheese, the creamy Spanish goat cheese that's available. Creamy.
We have
Yes.
2 more questions there, Katie, or more.
Yes.
How old are your kids? Do they like to cook?
Good question.
They are our kids. The question was, how old are our kids? Our kids are 6 and 3, and yes.
Yes.
Gisela and Lalo, and they are very sweet, and they do like to cook. We are trying to convince them that things like bocarones and are in there. They're pretty good eaters.
They don't have any problem with jamón and croquetas.
Yeah,
That
that's right.
is taken care.
Yes.
What's your favorite spot in Spain?
That's a tough question. Yeah, because
Well, Roses is tied to my, that's where I come from. That's the Mediterranean, but I have and I go a lot to the Basque Country and north of Spain, but I have a theme for the south right now. I have like the around Jerez, Cádiz, Huelva, Sevilla. It's like all that area right now is like it's very affordable. You can enjoy really good food, and you have all these experiences, around like pigs and tuna and markets, and very historical. Is the oldest part of Spain. So I think the south of Spain will be the one.
Yes.
So on your collar, you have the flag of Spain and European symbol. Are those culinary specific?
These are because we are here with Foods&Wines from Spain, and these are their the colors representative of Spain and the European Union. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and Foods&Wines from Spain.
I
and
kind of make a joke
Their logo.
in Instagram a few days ago. I didn't need the flag. You obviously know who's the Spaniard here, so it's like that's why.
That's right. I'm right. Yeah. Foods&Wines from Spain is what the symbols are from. Thank you for asking that question. Yeah, I'm honored to wear the coat. So.
We have more questions?
Can I ask you a really boring question?
No.
Please.
Olive oil. I see so many recipes including, certain that says olive oil. What is your go-to olive oil? You go to the store, you have
Oh.
you have virgin, you have Rican you have any number of
Yes. So the question was, what's my go-to olive oil?
Before you answer, I love that question because I have 20 at home, and I always wondering which one I have to use. So I want to hear that.
So first of all, from Spain is my go-to olive oil, but different types do different things. Like as I mentioned before, I love an arbequina, that's the type of olive, right? I love an arbequina olive oil for making it, if I'm gonna blend it with something. I'm making mayonnaise, I'm making ice cream, I'm making a cake, because it's lighter, it doesn't have the bitterness. I love piqual, for a finishing oil, if I'm putting it on pan con tomate, which is like a toasted bread with fresh tomato and a little olive oil and salt. I love piqual. I love the blends that bring, from Spanish, olive oils that blend these different olive varieties together. that are really kind of creating something. The nice thing about a blend is you end up with like a super interesting, consistent product, and it's wonderful. I love cooking with those. You typically am looking for a blend if I'm using it for cooking. That's my personal use of olive oil. So I have about 3 on hand at any given time. 6 more, but like three is like 1 to cook with, 1 for finishing that's gonna pack that like extra punch and be more vibrant and a little spicy, and then the arbequina for cooking and mayonnaises and sauces and all of that. That's my personal way that I approach olive oil, if that was helpful. Okay. Yes. Starting out cooking.
Yeah, like you guys make this look so easy.
Yeah.
Because you're so good at it. So like, how do I, like, as someone who is maybe not, what should I know?
Season your dishes.
That's
Season
great.
your dishes.
Yes.
That's like
I think that like when you're getting into cooking, the question was like how to start out when you're first like stepping into the world of cooking. The truth is I think starting with some simple recipes in a cookbook is like the way to go. So whether that's mine or somebody else's, but definitely mine, and starting with things that are simpler, like make gazpacho, which is really forgiving. There's some recipes where I have like a sautéed mushroom recipe or gambas al ajillo. Those things are a little bit simpler, good to like intro into things. And the key is to just dive into it, and
don't get complicated.
And don't be afraid. If it doesn't turn out how you expected, it's okay. I think you just have to start by stuffing piquillo peppers with goat cheese and then like searing them in a pan. Like start there and then build from that. Salt is your best friend. I will say that, yes, salt and mayonnaise are your friends. I mean, the truth is that oftentimes when I taste a dish that somebody's cooked and I'm thinking, or I've cooked it myself and I'm thinking, that's okay. Usually it's just because it's missing salt. So salt brings out flavor. Like salt is this thing where you add it and it continues to make the dish better and better and better until you hit this like apex of perfection, and then it becomes salty, right? But you're like trying to like get as close to that perfect thing by adding enough salt, and salt's really, important in that. If things taste bland, add salt for sure.
Any more questions?
Are you bilingual and are your children bilingual?
Children's not.
Hablo español. No perfecto, pero hablo español. Yes, I do speak Spanish well. It's not perfect. I learned speaking Spanish working at El Bulli. I never took classes and like talking with Felix's family and friends and everything. So over the years since we've been together, I have learned Spanish. I love languages. I love learning, so I can definitely have a full conversation in whatever I want.
And we go to Spain every year, but the kids are more challenging, I have to say, and that's on me. She doesn't.
Catalan.
She doesn't.
I do not speak Catalan.
She understands.
But I do, I'm understanding una mica, like more and more every day. So
I love it.
it's good.
Any more questions?
5 years from now, what's next?
Well, so we now
that's a good
have,
question.
that is
That's
a
a good
really good
question.
question. I mean, we have Cúrate, our flagship restaurant, and we have La Bodega by Cúrate, which is a Spanish specialty food all-day cafe. We're putting a wine bar upstairs. That's both in Asheville. We have Cúrate at Home, which we want to grow and develop. And Cúrate trips, we take people on tours to Spain and introduce them to the Spanish culture that we love so much.
2022
So
was
check those
sold
out.
out with 9 trips, but we put 3 more to sell. So
Yes.
I'm taking
wanna
people
come
to the
with
Basque
us?
Country, to Andalusia, to Catalonia, with Madrid and Castile. We had Portugal and Morocco as well.
Yes, the best thing about going to Spain is it's more eating and drinking, less cooking, which is enjoyable and discovering.
But I think where you're going is that we're focusing in our team. We're focusing in bringing the sustainability where everybody can be 100% with us, enjoying their job every day, and just help us. We need everybody needs that work-life balance right now. So we look at our staff, not only our managers and the people that are in the more executive positions, but our hourly people. We try to make a company that can be like a sustainable, and they can help everybody, include everybody, and we're just trying to be better and create better benefits for everybody.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. And it took a pandemic to redefine our vision. Before our vision, we saw ourselves as like restaurateurs. We were opening different concepts. I had opened a bagel shop as like homage to my time in New Jersey, and and these other things. And those concepts didn't survive. Not that they didn't survive, but selling bagels at $4 in a pandemic when there's nobody in downtown is like really not something that works. So we really understood for the first time who we are and what we do and what our vision is, and that is to connect people. Whether it's in their connect them, whether it's in our restaurants, at home, in Spain with us, in their hearts, to Spanish culinary culture. So that is our mission and vision. Thank you.
So you met each other at Jose Andres, and thanks to him. How connected are you still? Because I think he's a saint.
Yes.
And I don't know how connected y'all are now.
Yeah.
So
great.
the red phone is in the house. Is what I mean? It's like it's always there. It has his name, and for many years he's been calling that phone actually, and I've been going to Miami, to Vegas, to LA, and helping him with service in his new restaurants. But also, and Katie can tell that story better. We have to call him once
The red
or
phone
two
goes
times.
two ways, which is really sweet. He, the question was about like how connected we are still with Jose Andres. And when we were opening Cúrate in 2011, March, this was the first. Felix had helped Jose open many restaurants. It was the first restaurant I had ever opened. I had also never been chef of a restaurant. I was just like, the idea was we were going into like a family business and creating the Spanish tapas bar. And a couple of days a week before opening, we were stressed, overwhelmed, worried we weren't going to be able to do it, and picked up the phone and called Jose and just explained our situation and asked him for help. And without us even finishing the sentence, he was like booking flights for him and his top 4 people to come down for our opening weekend to help us just be extra hands and sort through the opening of the restaurant. And that's the kind of guy he is. I mean, I know that you all know that by seeing
That was
wonderful
11
things
years
he
ago.
does. That was 11 years ago. This was, and now World Central Kitchen. I mean, his heart is big.
But
so.
it's a funny thing that he was in the old Cúrate before we expand next door. He was carving ham, and a woman was on the street, saw him, come inside. I said, I have 2 questions to you. Are you Jose Andres? And if you're Jose Andres, what are you doing in Asheville, North Carolina?
Thank you all so much for your time today.
We want to thank you all for being here, but particularly to Catherine, Bruno, Foods&Wines from Spain, Food&Wine, for allowing us and giving us the opportunity to be back in Aspen.
Woo!
Yes. Salud. Thank you all.
Salud.
Enjoy the rest of your day. And drink more Spanish wine.